let's say you had to travel one day, or you're going on vacation, or you're fucking doing XYZ. I could foresee that it probably wouldn't be too difficult for you to convince yourself, okay, yeah, fuck it, let's I've been pretty consistent in the gym, let's take a week off. I'm gonna be kind of busy today, yeah, fuck it. Now, I mean, if that's just your fucking prerogative, do whatever you want. But if you know in your mind that you wish you would have gone, then it's just gonna feel so much better to be able to get in the car when you're done, sit down and go, oh, all right, I'm fucking exhausted, but I did it. That's gonna feel fucking insanely better than having to wake up the next morning and be like, ah, shit, slacked off today. The majority of people just don't do it. You know, it's like a lot of people want it, but not a lot of people want to do it. Right? So just by taking that one little step, you're separating yourself from the herd. Just keep grinding, man. Day in, day out. You know the deal. You're going to suffer more in your mind than you ever will in reality. And that applies to all aspects of life. Oh, dude, I wish I would have. Right? That it's I mean, is that ever going to be a positive statement when you have to look back at, you know, your last couple years or months or weeks, whatever, and think, oh man, I wish I could have blank. You're never saying that in the fun, reminiscing tone. It's always kind of a regretful, geez, you know? So, you know, all the boxes were checked. All I had to do was come in and hit it. You know, proper preparation prevents poor pumps. I've got a couple of friends who always have girl trouble, and I'll see them come into the lift and they look like they're in the zone, but I know why. It's because they're just getting upset. I don't know if that's the best way to go about it, right? Because when you introduce all these outside factors into the gym, I feel like you're not really in there for yourself. Like you're trying to, you know, go hard or get, you know, certain amounts of results or whatever, just to almost get over on someone else, or like do it for someone else's approval, or like you want to show them, or like, yeah, look what you're missing out on. Like, I don't know, man, that just seems so superficial. You know, in that sense, I feel like you're just allowing other people's opinions and thoughts to control what you do, right? For the most part, the more often that you can do shit purely because it's what you want to do, and it's going to bring you, yourself, satisfaction immediately, not just like making you feel better because you know that someone else is now thinking this about you. Shit really goes crazy. That's where you kind of develop as a person. So, unspoken benefit of going to the gym on a consistent basis is you kind of get acclimated to this one set of regulars who you see, you know, for a while, and I think you definitely have something to gain by chatting with them. Now, I guess that's not that's only a piece of advice for you if you're a little bit potentially anxious about going up and talking to somebody. You know, I've kind of felt that before. This is kind of reminding me of one gym I went to in Florida, and you know, I show up, and of course I'm just like a random dude because I'm on vacation. There's a whole crew of, you know, guys actually talking to each other. So I'm fucking like, you know, I'm looking around all serious, you know, I'm trying to like be tough or whatever. And then as soon as one guy came up and like talked to me, and this is a while ago. This wasn't like, holy crap, I've seen you. Like, this was just a normal dude asking me like a normal gym question. And as soon as me and him started talking, all of that, like, you know, masculine whatever tension that we kind of had built up, because like, you know, I'd look at them and they'd look back at me, and we kind of like no smiling, you know what I'm talking about, when you kind of like eye somebody up. But then as soon as we started chatting, boom, that whole little crew, we're fucking talking. It's great, freaking great. You know, I'm here to train for sure. Goal number one, priority number one, is get in the gym and do my lift, solid pump, stimulate whatever muscle I'm aiming for, so I can put some more beef on my frame. But you know, once that's done, if everybody was in there, I could sit in the gym for another 2 hours. Especially this one, because it's got a little bit of a snack bar. So I could just be like, oh God, guys, I'm getting kind of freaking hungry. I'm going to go up, grab 2 Quest bars, and then come back down. You know? It's just fun in there. Solid ass social hour for sure. The guy who likes walking is gonna walk further than the guy who likes the destination. You understand? And that's, it's easy to say. You know, it's easy to say this motivational shit or whatever. It's harder to put it into practice. But, you know, if you go to the gym on a consistent basis for long enough, it's just gonna become normal life. It's not gonna be a challenge for you to go in. And you should start to see some results coming in. And even if you are feeling a little bit tired, dude, there's a difference between being actually like exhausted and being, you know, just kind of tired because you've been laying down in bed for a little while and you're not really feeling that motivated to get up. You know, I've been lifting for a pretty long time, and I'll still have days, especially when I have a lot of, you know, extra responsibilities during the day and I don't get to just chill and be perfectly prepared for the lift. You know, even I'll still have fucking days where I'm like, oh geez, I'm so fucking tired. But then you get in the car, you take your pre-workout, the caffeine starts to kind of hit you. And then even if I'm still tired after that, once I do my first 2 sets, I'm in the zone. It's usually on a leg day. Legs must just hit me a little bit harder. But, you know, I'll do my first actual working set and I might still be out of the zone. But just after doing that one, something about the environment will kind of click for me. And I'm like, all right, let's get fucking real. Come on. Probably the majority of you guys are in school of some sort, either college or high school. You know, make sure to balance that shit out. Like, I'm not saying skip out on your studies, of course, but, you know, for me, it's always been a bit easier to kind of cut back on, let's just say, social extracurriculars, to get technical. You know, me and my brother, we've kind of got this friend group from high school. You know, we'll all kind of come over, hang out, whatever. And like, they'll go out to this one bar in town, and I'm like, shit, man, I gotta stay home and eat, or, you know, some shit like that. You know, and I mean, for me, that's kind of normal. I just, in general, I'm a little bit, like, I don't have a problem being kind of reclusive like that. Like, not that I'm not social, but, you know, I got my own shit to do sometimes. But I could definitely foresee a pretty solid majority of you guys struggling with, you know, with wanting to cut back on that sort of thing. You know, FOMO is a pretty powerful phenomenon. But then again, you got to think to yourself, what are you gonna enjoy more later on? You know, that one night of doing just random BS, or, you know, knowing that you were on track. I wanted to push myself to actual fucking failure. Let's just maintain this degree of intensity for quads, and before I know it, I'll get to sit down in the car and say, oh yeah, that was a good one. I can say with certainty that I know I pushed it pretty hard on all those sets. I'm glad I could push myself like that. And that should be my bar. Like, the most that you can do is the most that you should do. For you to just push to the limit regardless of your external circumstances, that is what the enlightened lifter is capable of every lift. I probably could have got like another rep or 2. If you know you could have got 5 more, you gotta do some self-fucking reflecting. At least the ones where I actually hit failure, that was about as much as I could do. So, you know, I can only be so upset with myself, right? It's not a problem to make a mistake once. If you do it again, then you're kind of a fucking fool. Why wouldn't you want to try to go as hard as you could on every set that you do, every chance you get? At least make sure you definitely push it. You know when you did a hard set.